how does birth trauma affect your sex life? All right, so listen up, because this is really, really important to say, is that, first of all, you need to understand that the way that birth has been practiced for over a century now is laced in the patriarchy and misogyny. And a lot of the practices are basically traumatizing us and making it so that we can't have full embodied sexual experiences with our partner. This is why a lot of times when say after you have a baby, the sex dries up. It's not on accident, okay? Because even if you've never had a sexual assault experience, if you go into the hospital, sometimes that is your first time where you lose your power. I'm talking about vaginal exams that you don't actually need, frequent vaginal exams that you don't actually want, and you're feeling violated, but you also have to just suck it up and deal with it. Well, guess what? Trauma is stored inside the body. So it can be months, even years later, and you're with your partner, and they are entering you either with their fingers or, and you suddenly, that experience, that body experience comes back up. And suddenly sex isn't pleasurable anymore. Now you're in trauma. And you're like, what the hell is wrong with me? Why can't I relax? Well, this is the thing. And then not only that, but if you had an episiotomy, now they've cut into possibly some nerves that affected your clitoris. And if you happen to have one of those chauvinistic OBs that gave you the husband stitch on top of that and made you tighter for your partner, guess what? That's also more pain. That can screw up your sex life too. We're not even going to get into the C-sections because, there's a whole bunch of issues with that too. And like the fact that you are now realizing it's like you don't have your power. It's been stolen from you. You don't feel sexy. This is why I say it's like birth trauma is like the absolute worst. And one of the things that I do that heals my clients is that when they are choosing to have that beautiful, empowered birth experience, and they're like, I want to have a natural birth as natural as possible, I tell them, look, what you really need to do is you need to get comfortable with your sexuality. Because true natural birth, the one that's not sanitized by the medical system, the one that often doesn't get done in a hospital because people are just so uncomfortable with the word sex that it gets censored so often. But true natural birth is a fully sexual experience. It's meant to be. It's not supposed to be painful. It's not supposed to be traumatic. This is your introduction to your baby and to your new embodied version of yourself. It's transformative. You're supposed to be in your sexual energy. But when you have bright lights and you have people talking over you and you have people shoving their hands up into you and you that is trauma. That is not a sexual experience. So that's why I say you need to not have those things. In order to have a true natural birth, it has to be hands off until you call in that help. Because you need to do three things. You need to be able to be in that state where you just feel comfortable to let go. You need to be able to make noise. And a lot of hospitals are not comfortable with you making those noises because guess what it sounds like? It sounds like you're having an orgasm. And they also don't want you moving around because when you're moving around, you're again, basically like you're moving your hips and you're swaying and you again look like you are a cat in heat. And that's really, really confronting to a society that is very sexually repressed. And even in the 90s, when we're like, oh, we've got Sex in the City and we are in our sexuality, we really aren't, because the sexuality is for other people and we only had it in one area, and it's like only sex in the idea of relationships or hookups. But taking it out of birth, I'm here to basically put sex back into birth because it's all connected. And actually, in all aspects of your life, your sexuality can really transform you. So I just wanted to let you know that if you tap into that sexual energy, you're going to have a better birth experience. You're going to have a better motherhood. You're going to have a better relationship with your partner, and they're going to be able to stand for you. But if you are still separating the two, that is how people are basically disconnecting you from your body. All right, thank you for coming to my little TED Talk. If you want to know more about this, I do have a video on my YouTube channel that I did an interview with my friend Michelle Short, and she was talking about birth and sexuality and how it's tied together. It's back from 2021, but it's a fantastic interview. It's about an hour long. And if you want to check that out, just go to my YouTube channel. The link's in the bio for my YouTube channel, by the way. Okay, I'll talk to you soon. Bye.